Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. We have been on the road for 2 weeks. Matthew, you've been to the Sabine River. You've been to Lake Amistad. We will talk about that. And look at the list. The list is pretty long.
My list is almost as long, and they're all different things.
I know.
We're going to have to do rapid fire.
Yeah, so a good show today, kind of a catch-up show, and then we're also going to have around the bottom of the hour, we're going to have Jamie Fralick on. He is the only guy that I actually thought about contacting to get some info on what's going down in South Dakota on the dammed up Missouri River. Because that's basically what it is.
I'm going to be gone the next 2 weeks, too, so we're going to get a little. The Elite Series go up to La Crosse this week, and then next week are in South Dakota.
Yeah, and he gave me the proper pronunciation of it.
Awahi.
It's Awahi.
Yeah.
And I was butchering that thing up big time.
I think we all were. It's kind of like, it reminded me of Chickamauga.
Yeah.
Chickamauga, Chickamauga.
Yeah.
Everyone says it. Yeah. You have three different guys go up on stage and say it different. So
yeah. All right. So we're going to have Jamie on about halfway through the show, and then a ton of stuff to catch up on. We are going to give away the $500 tackle packs along with the $25 Nike gift certificates that I promised.
We're doing that today.
We're doing that today.
Okay.
I actually have the winners somewhere. Oh, on the yellow tablet. All right, so we'll get to that.
You have two tablets?
I have two lists, man.
How many things are on your list? I
have 10 things.
You have 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 things. How many are on the yellow tablet?
Just a couple. It's just kind of
holy cow
info for the show. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's kind of kick things off by going back to the Sabine River. We really didn't have a chance to talk about the Sabine River. I want to bring this up, and a lot of people out there, they get upset at me when I do comparisons, but I was totally intrigued by the U.S. Open yesterday in golf. Did you watch any of it? You were busy. I know you had stuff going on, but did you see any of the highlights at least?
Yeah, I had it on the whole time while I was packing since I'm moving yesterday and today. But I saw it. It was crazy.
I mean, there were people bitching and moaning and griping, complaining about the conditions. And granted, the USGA, it was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal, especially those first 2 rounds.
I didn't see the first 2 rounds, but I saw the fallout from the first 2 rounds.
And there was like one guy in the top 10 that actually...
Mickelson whacking the ball while it's still rolling.
Yeah, took a 9 or a 10 on the hole, and he probably ended up better off taking the 2-stroke penalty than he did. But the comparisons between the toughness of the U.S. Open and the fact that, the toughness that existed on the Sabine River. Can you imagine how brutal it would have been at the Sabine River if they would have went with a 14-inch length limit rather than the 12-inch?
Yeah, you were talking to me off air over the phone about it, and I think probably only 10 guys a day would have had a 5-fish limit. You're talking a lot of guys and I sat there and watched, had a 12-inch fish in their bag.
Yeah.
A lot of guys had 5 12-inch fish in their bag.
Limits, 5-6 pound limits.
Yeah, I mean, Hackney wouldn't have had a limit every day. I mean, there were very few guys that would have had a 14-inch length limit.
Do you like the grinds? Is there an entertaining or an entertainment factor in the grinds like the Sabine River in fishing? Because from a golf standpoint, I really enjoyed the grind. I don't know if you can compare those two, but the difficulty in seeing the greatest golfers in the world going through and battling through what they had to go through, can you apply that same reasoning to what went down at the Sabine River?
I mean, in all honesty, I'm kind of over the Sabine. You know what it is. They've been there 3 times already. It is what it is.
So no entertainment value whatsoever.
In my opinion, for me,
no.
If it had been a new fishery, there would have been entertainment value.
Okay, well,
like when Ike won, I thought that was entertainment value. That was a grind. That was a deal. The 3 Rivers Classic in Pittsburgh, that was a grind. That was entertaining.
16 pounds or 14 pounds
13,
or whatever.
6 or something. That was entertaining. But when you return to the same grind and know it's going to be the same grind in the same grinding areas, didn't really do it.
Yeah, but you know the U.S. Open's always going to be a grind in golf.
Right.
It was just this year, it was some of the worst conditions or difficult conditions that they've seen in a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I felt the entertainment
comparison.
there.
I mean, Hackney said it. If you follow the Bass Zone on Instagram, it's just at College Bass Zone. We do kind of clips from after every day. And Hackney, I just came in here to survive. I said I'm happy regardless of what happens. He said I just wanted to get through this. That was the general consensus among most of the pros. Now, obviously, some had higher expectations going into it than others.
Yeah.
But I mean, it got some guys.
Yeah.
It got some guys good who are good guys. I mean, you scroll down to the bottom of the leaderboard, and you've got Chris Lane, the defending champ, who finished in last place.
Seemed very frustrated.
Cliff Crochet, who we had on, who had to be one of the favorites going into it, finished in 105th.
Very frustrated.
Jeff Crete, fresh off of his one-on-one victory against Mike McClellan, finished in 104th. Jacob Wheeler gets stuck on a sandbar on day two. DQ'd, self-reported, knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Jason Christie finishes in 94th. Two-time defending Bassmaster Classic winner Jordan Lee finishes in 93rd. I mean...
Oh, it's shaking stuff up.
Yeah. Brent Ayler finished in 77th. Tharp, 67. I mean, it's crazy. So it definitely shook things up. But Chapman went in, got the job done, as did a number of other anglers. But I thought it was interesting that Greg Hackney burned 11 gallons of gas in 4 days of tournament competition.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go ahead and do you have the Open on the list there? That Patrick Walters won?
Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting. You have two grinds. The Red River is fishing like crap right now.
Yeah.
A lot of floods, a lot of silt in. I was just sitting around talking to a number of professional anglers who are familiar with the Red River at Kurt Dove's Pro Bass Camp this past week, and they said it will take several years for it to come back to it's a shell of what it used to be.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting that Patrick Walters won that tournament while everyone was running, making long runs, tearing up stuff, multiple lower units. He just idled on over and caught him out of the pond. Then he fished the FLW championship in a couple weeks ago. Greg Hackney burns 11 gallons of gas. So I think you kind of see a pattern of how these two grinds were won and maybe a blueprint in the future, either 8 million miles away or right at the ramp.
That's a great point.
Figure out where the fish are. Don't burn any gas. Keep your stuff intact.
Yeah.
Maximize your fishing time, and know that there are fish in the area.
It's a great point.
All
man.
those things either, right there at the ramp.
Give it up to Hackney, though. He figured it out. And one of the most entertaining moments during the live coverage that Bass did was when him and it wasn't really an altercation. I don't know if you saw it. It was a discussion.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was a discussion.
With Bill Lowen.
With Bill Lowen in the canal. And the canal, not very wide.
But long.
Very long.
There was discussion in the media trailer about that, and we were talking, and there were some people of the opinion, because when this went down, Lowen was still in the hunt, that Lowen was way too nice and got intimidated by Hackney. That Lowen had every right, because he had been fishing in the back there, to idle past Hackney or get on his trolling motor and go past Hackney.
Well, Hackney told him, he said, why don't you just crank up and go?
And then go to the very, very back of it. And that other people said, no, it's the right thing to do. Hackney was leading the tournament. He said he was going to fish back there eventually, and Lowen went and found other water. So that's an interesting scenario there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Speaking of that real quick, though, I would point out I found our sheets of who we picked to win tournaments. We both did pick Jason Lambert to win the FLW Tour event on Kentucky Lake.
Okay.
I think I picked Faircloth in this one, or Aaron Martin's in this one, and you picked Faircloth.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got one right. I just want to point that out.
That was the easiest one to get right,
though. That was the easiest one to get.
All of them.
Anyway, continue.
That's pretty funny. All right. During my 2-week adventure, dude, I made like 10 stops, and I think I was in 7 different states. So had a very, very good time. The one thing I did get to do, I did get to fish a couple of times. I went ocean fishing for the first time. And we've had Crete on this show, and to hear Jeff talk about how different ocean fishing is, and he does the big time stuff and all that and everything, but we went out about 7 miles offshore on outside of Charleston Bay there in South Carolina. And dude, I'm telling you, every single drop, you either caught a fish or you lost your bait. And we caught 10 different species.
Circle hooks?
I have no idea. I don't know. We went with the charter.
You didn't even ever bait your hook or look at your
I
hook?
baited the hook, but
was it a circle
dude, I don't
hook or not?
remember. I have no idea. I don't even
How do you
remember
not
that.
know what type of hook you were using for it?
Because I was just enjoying the atmosphere. I didn't want to focus on anything. The dude said, here's your rod. Put a shrimp on it. Put a fiddler crab on it. Put whatever you want on it. And then he had these other shad-looking things that I don't even remember what they were called. We started using those toward the end. But we caught 10 different species.
Let me see if I can guess. Snapper, multiple species of snapper?
No.
Redfish?
1.
Flounder?
No.
Sheepshead?
No.
Whiting?
No.
Pompano?
No.
Mackerel?
No. You ever heard of a spadefish?
Nope.
Very, very cool looking. They're super like skinny, but they, you know, those big sunfish that look like garage doors.
Oh, cool.
They're kind of like that, but they're flipped over and they look like they have like zebra stripes on them.
Oh, I saw you caught a filefish.
A filefish?
Mm-hmm. It looks like a triggerfish.
No, it was a triggerfish.
You sure it was a triggerfish
Yeah,
and
he
not a
said that.
filefish?
In fact, the captain that we were with said in 30 years of guiding, that was the largest triggerfish he's ever seen.
Congratulations.
It wasn't me. It was AJ.
Okay, your son.
and man, they had some funky teeth. Very, very funky
I think
teeth.
they eat those barnacles and
it's
crabs
crazy. But
and
anyway, I got totally addicted to that, dude. I would do that in a heartbeat. Just drop down, catch, drop down, catch. Had a redfish on, sea bass.
Those are delicious.
It was,
you
and they
keep
look just
anything?
like that. No, we gave them to the captain. Gave them to the captain. So
That's a
that
mistake.
was an absolute blast.
Cool.
Enjoyed it. The other place I got to go to Guntersville, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a lesson in ledge fishing. And for those people, you know, we did the documentary, but for those people that think that Guntersville is
It's been
still
on fire
down,
this year.
dude, it is on, totally on.
How many did you catch?
Well, our best 5 over 8 hours went 24 pounds.
Cranking, jigging, Carolina
Worming.
rig, worm, big worm.
Worming, spooning, and topwater.
Your phone's going off.
Yeah. Worming, spooning, and topwater.
Cool.
And then an underspin. The guy I was with caught him on an underspin too. But got a lesson in ledge fishing on Guntersville. It was very, very, very cool. So I had a good time there. The other thing is I want to go back to our visit to I was in Savannah, Georgia also. Now, Savannah, Georgia, very, very historical place. And it kind of touristy, but there was a lot of history there. We did the river thing and did a bunch of other things. But, man, I brought you a present, Matthew. I brought you a present. I'm a nice guy. So
Let's not get carried away here.
all right, let's see here. This is the first thing that you're going to need right here.
Nice guy.
And for the iTunes listeners, it's a bottle of water.
This isn't the reincarnation of the Drew Will He Eat It, is it?
Oh, no, you're going to eat it.
If it's a Carolina Reaper, I'm not.
No.
I'm
no,
not
no,
eating
no.
anything that's
No, so here.
pepper.
Look what's inside of that box.
That's Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Okay. You got a little chicken and biscuits there, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to put the special sauce on there that we got in Savannah, Georgia.
I can't do hot stuff. I'm stressed out as the way it
Look
is.
what it's called.
Surrender the. Nope, not. I'm not doing it. I've seen all that stuff. I'm not.
Come
doing
on,
it.
man.
I'm not doing it.
It's called Surrender the Booty. Ghost pepper hot sauce.
I appreciate it. I am very hungry. I did not eat breakfast. I'll eat these during the break.
I did not put that. I did not put the Surrender the Booty.
One of the things that I have
On the,
done over the past several years is mature, make better life decisions, and I feel like
Dude, just a taste. Just a little splash.
no. I'm gonna Google it first. Why would you do this to me?
Come on, man. Here, let's. Oh, look, the little pirate hat comes off. See, I haven't even opened it up yet, man. I asked the clerk at one of the restaurants, kind of fast. It wasn't fast food, but it was just Savannah food.
There's no way. There's no
What?
way I'm doing it.
Oh man,
It's
Woo!
300,000 Scovilles. I'm not
That
doing
sounds
that.
like a lot.
I'm not doing that.
Smell it. Smell it. Just smell it. That's why I got the bottle of water there for you, dude.
No. No. The water does nothing. If you have to do it.
I don't do spicy foods, man.
Oh, so you're making me feel bad? You don't even do
I got
spicy
you a gift.
foods?
All right, here.
I feel you have medical conditions where this could send you to the ER.
I'm still going to give this to you, though, man. This is, see, I'll put the...
I greatly
I
appreciate it.
And you can have breakfast that you can eat during
Let the
break.
comments flood in that I'm a wimp. But you know what? I think
What was that stat that you gave?
I think it's 300,000 Scovilles.
Which means what?
The higher the Scoville, the hotter the pepper.
Okay, and it's 300,000?
Yeah, let me see a habanero.
Yeah. Has how many? He's looking here, folks.
Habaneros, chilies are very hot, rated 100,000 Scovilles.
Do you eat those?
No. I eat the...
Do you know anybody that would try that?
Drew. He wants to get back in and do some shows, by the way.
Does
I've
he?
seen him at the old Wednesday Nighter.
Do we need to put this on your shelf and
Yeah,
save
we'll
it for
put it
Drew
on the
then?
shelf behind because I'm not going to do it. Speaking of the Wednesday Nighter,
Yeah.
you know I had the big bass of the year? 839. Some dude caught an 855 while I was gone. Now I'm screwed out of the $600 for big bass of the year. Who catches an 855 in the middle of June?
That's a good fish there, man. You said Thunderbird was on
I
fire.
was pretty bitter.
You
I
need
am
to-
going to eat these. These look...
Yeah.
Oh.
You can have those during the break.
Thanks-
So
thank you, though. I
there's
appreciate
breakfast. All right, a couple other things, housekeeping things. I want everybody to know on the iTunes, the provider that we use, and it's very complicated.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of messages about this.
Here's the deal. The provider that we use that actually places our podcast on iTunes and on Google Play, they went through some changes that they had to upgrade their servers, or I don't know, some kind of stuff that they had to do. And a lot of our episodes, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, but a lot of our episodes were deleted when they did this upgrade off of iTunes. So I have a request out to the tech support for our provider to see if they can get that taken care of. If not, we're just going to have to reload them and put them out there. By the way, very good response on the best of. You did a good job with that, Matthew, while we were gone. That was the first time that we ever did any type of best of shows on the podcast version on iTunes and on Google Play.
You paid $17 for that bottle of hot sauce?
No.
You got it on discount?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, seriously, you think I'd pay $17 for that?
No, that's why I asked. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I think I paid $8 for it. I think she gave me a deal, something like that. Let's see here. The other thing is, we obviously, if you're looking at it right now, you can see that Wednesday's a big day for us. We've got the one-on-one live challenge between James Watson and Jeff Sprague for $5,000 on Table Rock Lake. We're going to kick that off at 9 a.m. Central Time, so make sure you tune into that. And then this past Sunday on Father's Day, I was very busy with the family, but I managed to wrap up, complete the latest 20 Feet Deep documentary, Dancing with the Devil, The Life of Bob. And I'm going to be launching that the last week of June. There is a handful of people that are actually viewing that documentary, and we're going to get some feedback from them, and we will release that the last week of June. So a very busy month of June, back-to-back Elite Series events, and then also we have the FLW Cup coming up.
Now we have the final FLW Tour stop on
St. Clair.
Lake St. Clair coming up.
Yeah. And the Cup in Arkansas in July,
In
right?
August.
Oh, in August? Wow.
You were over there, bro.
Yeah, I was swing and a miss.
My AOY pick there, Scott Martin, is he's got a shot. He's like 60 points behind Mark Rose. He's in second.
Yeah.
Andy Morgan.
Who did I pick?
Andy Morgan ain't gonna win Angler of the Year.
No, he's not.
Um,
He is not. Let's do the tackle packs. before I forget.
All right.
Before we
I
get
still
into
got to tell my Amistad story because it's crazy.
Yeah, this won't take long. All right. I said because of the faithful listeners that we have, I was going to give away one tackle pack from a previous date, and then I was going to give a $500 tackle pack away to people that posted a review after the date. So our prior took place on March 4th. His iTunes ID, I guess that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
What shows up,
I guess.
yeah, is D Phoenix. So D Phoenix, if you're listening, send me an email, mark@bassone.com with your contact info, and I'll be in touch, and we will get you your tackle pack and your Nike gift card. The second random selected individual is Mike, Ohio. Obviously Mike from Ohio, but his handle is Mike-Ohio. And his review took place on June 3rd. So if Mike, what?
Go ahead. I just figured something out.
What?
Why you're going orange on all of our stuff now? Because
that's
Nike's having a push where they're doing the orange on all their stuff.
No, that has
so
nothing.
That's why
they've been orange forever, dude.
I know that. I just realized. So that's why.
That's not it.
Yeah,
anyway,
it is.
Mike-Ohio. His review was on June 3rd. If you'll send me an email to mark@bassone.com with your contact info, I'll get you hooked up with some Nike gear and
Nike gift card.
Gift card. You can do whatever you want to with it. Shoes, shirts,
Sell
sweats.
it for $20.
Jeez, Matthew.
Get some Adidas.
Oh, no. So
congrats
to those guys. Some New Balance. No.
What is it? Saucony? How do you say that?
I don't even know. They still make those. Saucony.
Oh, is that how they say it?
I think it is. I think it's Saucony. All right. Mizuno has shoes, I think, or cleats. One of the two. Anyway, and then, dude, I am lucky to be sitting here right now. Now, I know you are familiar with this, and we're going to get to Jamie Fralick here in about 10 minutes. We'll take a break and come back with Jamie. The construction on the turnpike going from Oklahoma City to Tulsa is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So once you get, I don't know, I think it's about 30 miles from the Tulsa city line. That's where the construction starts, going from Oklahoma City toward Tulsa. They have these concrete barriers that are very, very, very tight. Very tight.
You're obsessed with this construction. I don't think it's that bad, but go ahead.
Very tight. And if you go to try and pass an 18-wheeler in these zones where they have construction barriers with no shoulder on either side.
I will agree with that. It's just straight concrete and then two exact lane widths.
Yeah. It's kind of creepy. I don't like doing it. I don't pass. I don't do any of that. And throw in the fact that they actually have put in curbs with these concrete barriers. So I am headed to Tulsa. I get in this section. I'm going right in my left lane where I'm supposed to be. There's an 18-wheeler over on the other side. He decides he is not going to take the curve. He's just going to go straight. So he runs me into the concrete barrier.
Did you hit it?
I hit the concrete barrier.
With the truck?
With the truck. And I had no idea how much damage was done. He forced me into...
Did he even see you?
No, I wasn't in his blind spot. I wasn't trying to pass him. He just didn't look.
Did you lay on the horn?
Oh, so I back off because I don't know how much damage I have. So I back off and I get behind him. And then finally, when I can get around, I'm like pointing at him and I get up to the side and it's a woman who has headsets in who's eating and drinking and is totally oblivious to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea how much damage is done to my truck. So I call 911.
Oh, jeez. He said, I just got ran off the road. This person isn't stopping.
Yeah, they hooked me up with the highway patrol. So for about 30 miles, I followed her until the highway patrolman could
what did it do
meet up with us. I was very fortunate, just scraped a little bit. Those concrete barriers have a lip on the bottom.
And that's what you hit?
And that's what I hit.
Did she get a ticket?
I don't know.
Was he talking to her when you left?
When I left, before I left, he's like, did you look at the damage? He goes, I've got all your contact info. Here, if you discover anything after that, just let us know. And he gave me a contact number and all this and everything. And then he goes, you're free to go.
Did you see her at all? Did she even get out of the truck?
She didn't get out, no. So, dude, I don't know how you guys pull boats through that area. It's way, 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 way too tight. And she about ran me off the road.
I'm glad you're okay.
So, thankful. That was probably the nicest communication I've ever had with a highway patrolman. So I appreciate his help. Back down the list. I am extremely fired up about ICAST this year. We've got ICAST coming up in July. I'm seeing and talking to a lot of people that, you know, each year, and you haven't had the opportunity to go, Matthew, but each year.
The last 2 years. So I went like the previous.
Okay, there's always been kind of a trend. There's been a trendy product that seems to be exposed or really tried to be pushed, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen this year.
What's it been? It's been coolers one year.
Yeah. Kayaks
one. Alabama rigs.
Yeah.
Swim baits.
Yeah.
Rocks as sinkers.
So in my visits that I've done over the past 2 weeks, there seems to be some very, very cool stuff that's getting ready to launch at ICAST. So I'm very, very excited about that, to see what so many of these companies have to offer. You know me, and then we're finally going to take a break. I'm a huge fan of all the Oceans movies. You know, the Oceans 11, Oceans 12, Oceans 13. I actually went and watched Oceans 8. First movie I've been to in I don't know how many years. Do you even know? Are you aware of this movie?
Yeah. No. I've watched Oceans 11 and
So
12.
do you know that
They came out with a new one?
Yeah. But it has nothing. Well, it kind of does, but there was a couple.
It's a prequel?
No. It was his sister now. His sister had been in prison.
Oh, okay.
So very, very entertaining. Highly recommend it. Now, I want to get to where you have been this past week. You had the opportunity to actually showcase your guiding, not really guiding skills, but mentoring skills.
I was a chaperone.
To young individuals. I don't know about this whole bed check thing and all this and everything, being camp counselor.
Oh, yeah, it's counselor. Camp counselor.
So kind of talk a little bit about your experience that you had down at Amistad last week.
I went down there like right after the Sabine River, and it's Kurt Dove's pro bass camp. It's the 7th year that he's done it now. He's actually doing 2 sessions this year, but there's 20 kids, 13 to 18 years old. They get, Dave Mansu. There's 10 instructors. They call them pros, but
yeah.
Mansu, James Niggemeyer, Pete Pons, Kurt was one. Some regional guys, Denny Brower. I know I'm probably leaving someone out, but basically these kids come down and it's like an intensive camp for 4 days. Fish all day on Amistad, go out with 2 kids new each day, learn new techniques, come back, do seminars in the evening, and then at the end of the week on Saturday, the kids get full control of the boat. They decide, where to go within reason. I mean, you kind of help guide them along, and then the winner gets a $1,500 college scholarship. It's a really cool deal.
To the school of their choice, correct?
Yeah. So I drew 2 13-year-olds or 14-year-olds.
Were they sticks?
They were enthusiastic. they were good fishermen.
They had a good guide.
Yeah, but I mean, there had not been many big fish caught. A lot of 13, 14-inch fish. Mm-hmm. There's a 7 and a 6. So I mean, we were thinking, just get.
So it was kind of tough.
Yeah, it was real tough. Get these kids to catch keepers. Get these kids a limit, and they get to keep 3. So they decided they didn't know how to get to anywhere. They wanted to start in a cove with sticks in it. Sounds like your tournament game plan, Mark. So we drive along, and I'm like, oh, there's a cove with sticks, and you guys want to start in there? And mind you, we've been out for 3 days, and the biggest fish in my boat's been a 2-pounder to this point. And one of the kids, Hayes, in the first cast loses a 5-pounder, and then like his 4th cast loses a 3-pounder, and then like his 10th cast catches a 2-pound smallmouth. So we're off to a good start, right? Mm-hmm. Fires up next to this stick, and about a 3.5-pounder blows his whopper plopper out of the water. You haven't heard this story yet, have you? As soon as the whopper plopper lands, there's just it looks like a little cherry bomb went off or something. Well, 2 grabbed it at once. That 3.5, and then another 3-pounder grabbed it at once. And then they started fighting and rolling around on the surface, and they're the two biggest fish any of us have seen all week.
Yeah.
And it's in the tournament. It's 10 minutes in. He's freaking out. We get both of these things in the net. They're laying on the bottom of the carpet. He's shaking. He's screaming. He can't believe it. His hooks are mangled. We get them both in. Now he's got a limit. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, I got this thing in the bag. I've got it won. So while we're trying to get these fish out of the net, Luke, the other kid, goes up to the front of the boat, and he proceeds to catch his limit, 3 fish, on 3 consecutive casts with the whopper plopper. So now we're 5, and they were good ones. Now we're 5 fish in on 4 casts. We've got his 2 big ones rolling around in the carpet. We get those in. He's freaking out. Luke now has a limit, makes a 4th cast, catches 1. So now we're trying to get hooks on Hayes' whopper plopper. We're trying to cull Luke's fish. It was absolute chaos. But I'd never seen that big of a... I mean, Tim Hortoned it, but... and he ended up winning the tournament.
Yeah.
He was super excited. It was cool. I got a great video of it and stuff of him going, oh, I can't believe it. He's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. He's like putting his hands on his knees.
He's 13?
He's 14. He had to take a break because he's got a bad back.
Really?
And I was like, oh, no.
Where was he from?
Mississippi. So
did he have any idea what college he wanted to go to?
No, he was concerned about catching fish and picking raisins out of his trail mix. Those are the two biggest concerns of the day for Hayes.
But he won $1,500.
Won a $1,500 scholarship and a trophy and the whole 9 yards, and he got to hold him up at weigh-in.
Yeah.
But he's got that double.
Is he in he's got to be in high school.
Yeah, high school. But have you ever caught a double in a tournament like that on a top water?
No. As much as I throw it,
I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
No, that's a cool story.
It was a cool story. So Kurt does a great job. He's doing another camp in July. I believe working on some other youth camps in other parts of the country.
Dude, he needs to do them in like
year.
October or November or December. I know the kids are in school, but man,
well, that's the whole point. Is that they're out of school.
It's 1,000 degrees there.
It was great. I mean, we get off the water at 1 and do seminars and stuff. Dave Mansu gave a good one on tournament etiquette.
Really?
I stuck around.
Did he bring up any
one.
examples?
All of them. Brought up all of them. So.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. We need to take a break. Anything on the list? Anything else on the list?
No, we covered. The only thing is, I was watching Gerald Swindle's stuff online. He said that the Mississippi River out of La Crosse is expected to rise 5 feet by Friday because of all the rain that they've had up there.
That could change a few things.
You think?
Wow. All right. We're going to take a break and talk a little South Dakota angling.
I'm all about it. I hope it's good. I hope I learn a lot because it's not that far away. It's only like 12 hours away.
That's a little ways away.
It's just like driving to Guntersville.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back with Jamie Fralick. Everybody stay tuned.
The most versatile fishing machine on Earth. Unparalleled resolution and clarity, with more agility, lightning speed, and brute strength. HDS Carbon takes rapid response performance and screen technology to an all-new level. Maximized power, maximized visibility. See Structure Scan 3D, new dual chirp sonar, new live network sonar, and more mapping options, all at the same time and faster than ever before.
Pros depend on hydraulic jack plates to get the best out of their boats. Do what they do. Demand Atlas performance. Atlas gets you from the bottom to the top in less than 8 seconds, even with the big 4 strokes. And when you gotta turn right around and get that heavy load back up in rough water, Atlas's innovative design and American-made components will get you there with confidence.
I'm at Depot. Just look for yourself. There's an Atlas jack plate on just about every professional's boat.
The Atlas hydraulic jack plate. You can depend on it.
My rods look different because they are different. Every rod is built by the pros and for the pros. When you pick up a white Duckett fishing rod, you're getting a cutting-edge rod, one that's truly pro-driven, with the actions you need for every bait category you fish. I put my name on it. It's my promise to build you a great rod you can count on.
Duckett Fishing, Micro Magic, Macro Magic, or White Ice.
Try them. They work.
When you are on the water, you need performance you can count on. Lowrance has been proving it for more than 60 years. Just ask our pros. HDS Carbon is the choice of champions. The clearest, most visible screens and killer new features like fish reveal and dynamic high visibility contrast ensure you catch more. Now is the ultimate time to get the best deal. Save up to $500 when you buy a qualifying HDS Carbon in the Ultimate Upgrade Sales event before May 31st.
Hey guys, Russ Lane, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. Man, I am so excited to be joining the AFCO Pro staff. They got some really cool, innovative products to help you have a more enjoyable, comfortable day while you're out there on the water. Really stylish, great functional clothing. You're gonna love it. The thing I'm most excited about though is AFCO has pledged to donate 10% of their total profits back to supporting the conservation of our fisheries, and I am all about supporting a company that's about supporting conservation so that we can enjoy our bass fishing for a long time. Check us out, AFCO.
Jacob Wheeler and Tommy Biffle have a lot in common.
Flat bill.
The perfect shape.
You gotta love some light tackle.
I know I have a spinning rod.
I love my hammer crawl.
Biffle bug.
Rigged
on a hardhead.
Well, they could be twins. Bifflebug, Hammer Crawl, Hardhead, from Gene LaRue.
Let me help you, man.
Let me help that hat.
Whoa, whoa.
There you go. I already looked better.
When I talk about Sunline, I think of one word, confidence.
Sunline FX2 is what I use for all of my frogging and flipping.
SX1 braid, which braid plays a big part in fishing line.
Shooter, I'm going to use in those close quarter deals like flipping and pitching.
One of my favorite techniques in fishing the tournament trail is to fish offshore ledges.
We have taken the questions out of the equation.
Take my word for it. It works. It works, dude.
All right, we are back on a Monday, getting ready for a big 2-week swing through Wisconsin. Hey, I got to give it up to you, Matthew. You did it.
I surrendered the duty.
What's the verdict?
I got way too cocky. I put a drop on the first little chicken biscuit, a little bit more, but then I just poured it on top of the final one. See?
So is it the 300,000, whatever you said? Is it pretty hot?
No, I can handle it. It's not. I mean, everything's burning in my mouth region for now.
All right. Well, you got some Gatorade. You got some water there. Cool off.
I mean,
a little bit.
It's not like that one chip challenge thing that was so popular.
All right. Well,
I got a little sweat on the upper lip though.
You are starting to sweat a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
we'll save some biological reaction.
We'll save some.
It lingers.
We'll save some from Drew.
It's like a bad tournament. The taste just kind of sticks around in your mouth long after the tournament's over.
Not good. All right, Jamie, you there, man?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
It's been a while, man. I was going back, looking at some old stories and old photos and everything, bringing back some memories. But from what I understand, you're doing well.
Yeah. Yep, just living it up in South Dakota.
Well, I wanted to get you on to talk a little bit about the second stop on this 2-week swing, about Lake Oahe. Did I say it right?
Yes.
I know it is a mystery to a number of people, and I thought it would be cool because obviously you being from South Dakota, that you could kind of give us some insight on what we can expect and kind of maybe some patterns, maybe some estimated weights. Is this a good time? What's kind of the structure of it? Is it going to be a pure smallmouth thing? So the floor is yours, man. Just kind of give us some insight on what we can expect.
Oh, I mean, it's a huge lake. I think it's 192 miles long. And if you hit it at the right time, it's really good. I mean, it's as good as Lake Erie or, the St. Lawrence, at the right time. You'd see a lot of 20-pound bags. It's going to fish a little different this time of year. Post-spawn transition. And then there's probably still be some fish spawning. They're going to catch them in all, spawn, post-spawn, and, fish out in their summer patterns. So, it'll fish bigger, but the weights will be down a little bit. And it's mainly just a rock, clay and rock lake.
And it's primarily smallmouth, right? Will there be any largemouth caught?
A few. Yeah, it's 95% smallmouth. Some years, it's kind of funny, like some years there'll be a lot of largemouth caught, and then there'll be 2 years where there's hardly none. I mean a lot. There might be 2 guys in a tournament come in with the limit of them. But no, I'd say it's 95% smallmouth.
Jamie, we're going to see everybody doing the same thing in this tournament, or can you catch these fish doing a bunch of different stuff?
Like I said, you can catch them doing a bunch of different stuff. There'll still be males up guarding fry, but that's not something that'll take you through 4 days. Once you catch them, they're gone. And there'll be some people catching them out deep. They catch them in the summertime, 50, anywhere from 20 to 50 foot deep.
Holy cow.
It's what's funny about 5 years ago. Yeah, it's about 5 years ago when we had the flood on the Missouri River. It washed all the smelt through the lake, and the fish were all starving. They introduced this Cisco, which is a form of a herring. And since they did that, the smallmouth there have just flourished. It used to be big fish. Of a tournament would be maybe a 3-pounder. Last fall, I weighed in a 5'6" smallmouth and didn't get big fish. So, I mean, just since the Cisco was introduced, the fish have just grown.
Do you know about the Cisco, Matt?
I don't know about the smelt.
What's the scoop on that?
The Cisco or the smelt?
Both.
Yeah, both.
They're both kind of a form of herring. The smelt normally lives deeper, but I don't think there's hardly any smelt left in there. It's mainly, the Cisco, and there's other minnows and stuff, but it's a Cisco, and they look a lot like a shad, and they get 6-7 inches long.
Wow.
It's a form of the blueback herring.
Let me ask you this, Jamie. Bass came out this past year, obviously. No information rule as soon as the schedule was released. I would imagine Oahe is a lake where guys would have liked to get a lot of info. You would have probably been a very popular individual had this rule not gone into place. Are there, certain areas, are guys going to struggle trying to break this thing down and figure out what part of the lake these smallmouth are in? You mentioned it was 190 miles long in 2.5 practice days, or are there, just a couple main areas where they live, and if the guys didn't go down in pre-practice or don't stumble across that, they're kind of in trouble?
Yeah, I mean, there's fish, from takeoff 70 miles up, and there's fish from takeoff to the 15 miles down to the dam. And there's certain little areas that are better, but they'll be caught, I don't know how far up at Whitlocks, not Whitlocks. At Gettysburg, there's a bridge, and that's as far up as I've ever been. They catch them all throughout it, so, they shouldn't have a problem finding fish. Weight-wise, what it's going to take to win, I would say probably 60 pounds over 4 days.
Oh, that's low.
Like if it would have been, 2-3 weeks later, and the fish were out, a little more recovered after spawn, I would say it could take as much as 75. I can tell you this, it'll be better than the Sabine, weight-wise.
You're really going out on a limb there, Mr. Fralick.
Yeah. Hey, Frank in Michigan wants to know, is there a lake that you fished during your Elite Series career that it would compare to?
Probably a lot like Lake Erie or, Sturgeon Bay. Real similar to, probably more similar to Green Bay, Sturgeon Bay area.
All right.
How nasty does it get if it blows?
It gets rough. It's probably, a lot of it's 4 miles wide.
Holy cow.
Wow.
And, and where it makes so many bends, and, like the worst part is right around the mouth of the Cheyenne River. If you get a northwest wind, you just, right there, it's just like they don't rhythm. You'll be running, with the waves, and all of a sudden a great big one will just hit you from the side. So it gets rough.
What's the wind?
That time of year we shouldn't get that time of year we don't normally get a lot of hard wind. More in the spring and later in the fall.
All right.
If it blows over 20, it gets ugly.
All right. Ruben on the instant feedback wants to know who your pick is to win.
I know a lot of them spend a lot of time up there, last fall, and I think it could kind of be an Aaron Martin's type of tournament.
All right.
If I had to pick, I'd probably say Aaron.
All right.
Has there ever been a tournament that wasn't an Aaron Martin's type tournament, Jamie?
That's a good point, Matthew.
Oneida kind of tricks Aaron, so I'd say if there was one that wasn't an Aaron Martin's tournament, it'd be Oneida.
Fair point. Fair point. Are you, first of all, how far do you actually live from the lake, and are you going to be at the weigh-ins hanging out?
I live like 2.5 hours from the lake. Where I live in South Dakota, I'm 2 to 3 hours from any lake. Any major-sized one. But, I'll be there Friday and Saturday.
All right.
Cool. I'll have to find you. I'll do a story with you for Bass Zone.
So what are you doing now, man? Are you fishing? What's going on in your life?
I fish some, local tournaments around here. A lot of team tournaments with my dad. And, I moved back here when I quit fishing the elites. And my dad has a flooring business, and he sells the flooring, and I get to be the one that installs it.
Wow.
Doesn't your dad fish the nation stuff? Hasn't he done pretty well? Made the South Dakota team and gone to regionals and all that?
Yeah.
I feel like I've fished against him in the past couple years.
Yeah, he's been at Gunnersville, and he was at Lake of the Ozarks.
I was at both of those.
The past year he's at Toledo Bend, so he still fishes, and he's still competitive.
All right. Very cool, dude. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you taking time out, kind of giving us an insight. Matt has one more question.
One more question. What are the crowds going to be like? I mean, is there a robust professional bass fishing fan base where these guys are like, oh my gosh, they're here? I mean, you're going to have people traveling from Mount Rushmore and the Dakotas and Montana and all that, Glacier, just coming down to South Dakota to see these guys, or is it going to be sparse?
I think it's going to be a really good turnout. Not like Orange, Texas, or one of those, but for around here, I know every motel, campsite, and cabin is booked in Pierre and around. So, I would expect, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, really good, really good turnouts. Monday, could be kind of iffy where it's a Monday. But I know a lot of people, all the people that I know that fish are going.
All right.
Nice. It's good to hear.
First time in South Dakota. All right, man. Jamie, we appreciate you taking time out. And best of luck to you. And Matt and Dave, they'll be there for all the action during the week. So reach out to them, man.
Okay.
All right. Jamie?
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll see you.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, Mark.
All right, man. Take care.
See ya.
See you.
All right. Bye.
There you have it, Jamie Fralick. Man, I felt like I was like back in the old days where there was a delay there.
There's a delay. No, I think that's just kind of...
That's how he rolls,
He follows the Brian Thrift interview format.
I don't know. It's been a while.
Good info, though.
He had...
Really good info.
What was it? 2011?
2013.
That he made his classic run?
Oh, then the classic run?
Yeah.
Yeah, he stopped fishing the elites after 2013. But yeah, he almost won the classic.
It was 11, wasn't it?
I'll be able to tell you in a second. I had Monty pulled up there. I do remember that. I was like, it felt good. I beat Jamie Fralick's dad. I was doing something. Let's see. Classic
2011?
appearances. I'd be impressed if you get that right.
I think it was 11.
Who won in 2011?
I don't remember.
You're way off, dude.
It wasn't?
2009.
Wow, it's been that long ago?
Mm-hmm. In Shreveport.
9 years. Wow.
On the Red River, he had 49 pounds and finished 8th.
And Skeet, that's the one Skeet won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy. Patrick Walters just won with 30 pounds.
Things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He mentioned something that I have on my list here. I was going to ask you. We're making the trip to South Dakota. And
You're going?
No.
Oh.
You're making...
Oh, I forgot to ask him about the walleye fishing. Because we're staying on a house on the river that, like, you can't get to the lake from there.
I'm sure it's fantastic. It's got to be fantastic.
I meant to get some tips on what I needed to...
Just call him.
Like a wally diver?
I don't know. All right, if you had to put... How many presidents are on Mount Rushmore?
5.
I think 4.
Washington?
Yeah.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
Jefferson?
Yeah.
Hamilton?
Dude, I'm terrible at history. I just remember there's 4. Is that right? Look it up. That is
Teddy Roosevelt, right?
That's it, I think. I don't remember.
Are there only 4?
Is there 4?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I got them. Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Roosevelt.
Okay.
I don't know why I added Hamilton in there.
I couldn't tell you on that one. All right. If there was a Mount Rushmore for professional bass fishing, who would be on there? Dude, I'm not trying to stump you.
Okay, well, I'm thinking, who would be on there for bass? Tournament fishing or everything as a whole?
Fishing.
Professional fishing. Ray Scott.
Okay.
Roland Martin.
Okay.
Kevin Van Dam.
One more.
Professional fishing. Those 3 for sure. When you say?
So you got Ray Scott, Kevin, Roland.
I mean, you'd have to go Rick Klon.
I agree.
Those are the 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's really even a discussion.
No. I'm trying to think if there was anybody left out on that. I don't know. Obviously off the cuff here. If you had to make a Mount Rushmore for the 2018 Bassmaster Elite Series so far, and you said, okay, here we go. We're gonna build a Mount Rushmore for what has taken place so far
this year
in 2018. Who would be the 4?
I don't know. You'd have to take the top 4 in the Angler of the Year, wouldn't you?
Would you? I'm just asking.
No, I would put Kevin on there. He won his 25th wire to wire.
Yeah.
I would put Kevin on there. I mean, there hasn't been anyone who's just had dominating performances in stringing together, 3 or 4 tournaments. I mean, we've seen in past years. Remember, Skeet Reese went on that run in was it 2010, where he had like the top 5, like 5 top 5 finishes. Polinick closed out the year with 6 top 12s in a row. We haven't really seen anybody that's gone off the chain like that this year.
I'm just asking you, if you had 4 people that you were going to build a current Mount Rushmore, who would the 4 guys be from the Elite Series?
This year?
This year.
I'd say Brent Chapman, Greg Hackney, Kevin Van Dam, and Josh Bertrand.
Okay, I disagree with you on the Bertrand. I put Skeet Reese up there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skeet's got more top 12s.
Yeah.
But Skeet hasn't cashed a check at every tournament, has he? He's had some stinkers.
He didn't make the cut at Grant.
Yeah. Bertrand's made a cut in every single tournament.
Yeah. By the way, I watched the show from the Kentucky Lake event.
Mm-hmm.
Skeet got an enormous amount of TV time.
Right.
I mean, practically the whole show. So his sponsors.
He was good on camera, and then he also was on live on the Sabine River.
Oh, and by the way, not a single mention about the Asian carp on that show.
Right. What was interesting was we were actually driving over, talking about the Sabine River. We were driving over the bridge there in the river, the Trinity River, that he fished after I'd picked Dave up in Houston. We were an hour and a half away from Orange. We passed and we both look. You know how you do when you're a bass fisherman.
Yeah.
You look over and see if it looks fishy.
Mm-hmm.
We both said, "Oh, that looks fishy. I wonder if anyone fishes that." Like, it might be too far away. I don't even know if there's bass. I'm like, that's known for those monster gar and catfish and stuff like that. I kid you not, he drove to that bridge, and that's where the majority of his fish came from in the Trinity River, was that bridge.
Wow.
Yep.
It looked pretty fishy, didn't it?
Yeah, 80 gallons of gas a day.
Holy moly. Wow.
Meanwhile,
all right.
Hackney burns 11 gallons in 4 days and wins and keeps his lower unit intact.
He's having a really good year. Hackney is.
It'll be interesting to see how he handles the northern stuff, because he typically does not do well. You remember what happened with him? Was it, I don't know if it was it Sturgeon Bay, or it was one of those up there in the Angler of the Year where he barely held on. And he likes to go for largemouth when it's at all humanly possible to go for largemouth. So
doesn't sound like that's going to be the case in South Dakota, though.
No.
We'll have to wait and see. All right, a very, very busy 2 weeks.
It's the most stressed out I've ever been in my life.
What do you mean?
Well, I've been gone for 2 weeks. I did that. I came back. I literally have today to move. I have to get checked out, cancel all my stuff, get out of the apartment, get an apartment check, move my stuff up to Tulsa, pick Dave up from the airport tomorrow evening, drive up to Table Rock, do the one-on-one on Wednesday morning, drive up to Wisconsin, cover the Elite Series, drive to South Dakota, cover the Elite Series, then come home.
You got today and tomorrow,
and I've been gone the last 2.5 weeks.
You got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
It's easy for the guy who's got all of his stuff situated.
Plenty of time, man. All right. Next show is going to be next Tuesday. Not tomorrow, but a week from Tuesday. You guys are going to be
on the road
in South Dakota, and we will do a show that evening. It will be an evening show and kind of wrap up what went down on the Mississippi River, and then hopefully get some insight, more insight.
Preview.
Yeah, on St. Clair. So, good stuff, man. I know a very busy 2 weeks. Make sure you check out the one-on-one live challenge on Wednesday, 9 a.m. right here on the Pass Zone. We'll have it for you, a 3-hour match on Table Rock between Watson and Sprague for $5,000. And then more one-on-one challenges coming up in July, too. So if you want to challenge a pro, if you really think you got the game.
Or the buddy down the road who's always bragging about how he can catch the biggest fish in the lake, and he can
throw it out there. We'll see if we can get the challenge booked. So want to thank Jamie Fralick for taking time out. It was good to be back in studio. Things are going to be a little crazy over the next couple of weeks, and then we kind of get back into a normal schedule once ICAST. We'll have to get ready for ICAST second week of June. So
July.
Sorry, man.
So hectic you don't even know what month it is.
I know. I got a calendar in there we got to fill out. All right, everybody, be safe. We will talk to you on Wednesday, 9 a.m. right here for the one-on-one live challenge. Everybody be safe. Stay tuned.